The joys of Skype and all the other bullshit of life. Oh, yes, it is a Sunday evening. Oh, my goodness, this is the Nothing Sacred Show. I am Cruise Control.
I am Maxwell Silverhammer.
And oh, my goodness, have we got a show for you today.
Man, we have a show and a half for you.
It is the 19th, whatever the fucking date is. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the 19th of
19th of November. It's the same bullshit. It's just about to be hell time at work and all that good shit. So, yeah.
You know what I did realize, though, man? We went, let's see, when was our end? It was like the 10th of November for doing the show.
I was thinking about it, too. It's been 2 years now, man.
Yeah, that's funny. So our last show was actually one of our anniversary shows, and we didn't really acknowledge it. Yeah. That's kind of funny.
Because we forgot. We're old. We're old bastards, and we forget shit.
God damn it. We forget anniversaries. They don't mean shit anymore. God
seriously.
Damn it.
So, I'm a little bit, we were a little annoyed because Kraken couldn't join us. We'll get him on.
Yeah, there was some Skype-ass fuckery going on. I'm not sure what. But,
yeah, we'll figure it out, and maybe it was a little subterfuge there, maybe a little bit like.
I was kind of wanting them to come on though, man, because we've had some very irky. We've had some work irks. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah. Okay. So what's going on? What work irks are you having?
All right, man. So just events, and I'll go in chronological order. First of all, we had the NFB Convention, the state convention, and that was last weekend. And it was disorganized as fuck. I mean, okay, remember I told you a few months ago that they didn't even have an online sign-up form if you wanted to go to the convention? You actually had to print it off and have someone help you fill it out.
Oh, yeah, that one. Okay, so you finally went to that one then.
Yep, this was the one. Remember, and I promised you guys I'd have something for you. So, anyway, we go there. Kraken and I go. Nobody knows shit. Nobody knows where anything is. We're like, well, where's the convention going to be? And they're like, oh, I think it's going to be in one of these rooms here. And we're like, well, no shit, nigga. So finally we did find it. Then they had the chick who was checking people in was sitting there with you ever seen a slate and stylus?
Yes. Okay,
and it's a very archaic way of taking notes. I think I fucking hate the goddamn thing. You got to write backwards, And if you're signing people in, you don't have time to go clicka. Even though you might be kind of fast with that bitch, but I mean, goddamn it, dude, it's 2017. You can't get a digital recorder or some kind of note taker like a Braille note or one of those devices or something.
It's keeping your heritage as a blind person.
You mean keeping it real to your roots?
Real to your roots. It might be. That might be some of that logic, dude. Because I guarantee there's some social justice logic going on in the blind community and the blind, blindness.
That's true.
So who knows? She probably was like, and look how fast I am. So she get there to slate and stylus.
Yep. So we had that, and then we go in, and now first of all, this also shows you how disorganized it was. Let me just back up. I got a call last week at work. Somebody was asking me information about the convention. And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I'm going, but I'm not in NFB. I know nothing. I said, the person you need to call, and I gave her name, and the girl was like, yeah, I called her twice, and I sent her text messages, and she didn't return anything. And I'm like, okay, that's disorganizisto. So anyway, we finally get in there, and she had her kid get up and lead us in the Braille Hokey Pokey. Now in Braille, obviously you have dots 1, dots 2, dots 3, and then dot 4, dot 5,
dot 6. Is this the first thing that happened when it started, or was it later on?
We did the pledge, and then they did some little housekeeping shit, and then she had her kids come up, and the one was going to lead us in the Braille Hokey Pokey.
So let's start with a couple things. Let's get some background here, just to see. So is the mom blind?
Yes, she is.
Okay, so the kids are blind?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the mom and the kids are blind. Good God.
Yep, okay, dude. You know what? I know the kids are blind because one of them uses our program.
Holy
so yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. Dude, that's a mess, dude. Like blind parents, blind kids.
It's blindos all over the place.
Good God. Dude. And that just shows that certain people, man, that I guess you just got a family. I wonder if that's easier or harder for a blind mom to take care of a blind child.
I don't know, man.
It makes a difference in taking care of a sighted child.
Husband's sighted. If I.
Oh, okay. So.
Yeah, the husband may be sighted, and I don't know about the other kid, but the one who led us in the Braille Hokey Pokey, I'm pretty sure was blind.
So you got a blind mom and a blind kid, and how many people were there?
Actually, from what Kraken said, he said there were about 18.
Okay, so about 18 people there.
In this little room, yeah. It's like this, I don't know.
And like they led the blind Hokey Pokey. Now, so this is a bunch of blind people coming for a meeting, a meeting to talk about blind issues.
The state convention, mind you.
And they're doing NFB state convention with 18 people in a state of 4 million, 5 million in Nevada.
Right. Exactly. Yeah,
because
some of these people were they weren't even Las Vegans. I think they were from like Reno and a few other places.
And you're doing a blind Hokey Pokey with. See, that's just it's like patronizing. That's a scary part when you've got blind people patronizing other blind people.
Yeah, isn't that some shit? Well, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, and that's more what we saw too, dude. Like, wait till I get into the inspirational speeches. So we get up, we do the Braille Hokey Pokey. Your left arm is your dot 1, your left hip is your dot 2, your left foot is your dot 3. And then same thing on the other side. Dot 4 is your right arm. Dot 5 is your right hip.
Put your dot 4 in. You touch your dot 4 out.
That's
put your dot 4 in, and you shoot yourself in the head with a gun because your life is meaningless. You do the Hokey Pokey while your brains are from the wall.
This is why I wanted Kraken on, man, because this motherfucker was sitting, and I figured, well, I gotta get up and do this, I guess, in case there's some sighty in the room that might, And
he's like, no.
Yeah, no, totally flat the fuck out refused. I'm like, dude, you gonna get up? And he's like, fuck no. And I'm like, what? Dude, he's like laughing at me the whole time. He's like, I'm like, you fucking dick.
Because they didn't tell everybody. They told everybody, all right, everybody get up.
They said, stand up, we're going to do the Braille Hokey Pokey now.
And you have to, because one of you guys had to, because if it got back that you went to an event and weren't cooperative, oh, the things you do for the cash, dude. You should have been what you should have just taken the dick and just had it blow right all over your face, dude, Max.
I did.
Oh, I'm going to take this. I need to make rent. Oh, yeah. Oh, put your right dot in. Oh, yeah.
Right dot in, all right.
Yeah, Kraken's going. Kraken's going. No. No, he's just watching you take the dick in and then you go, I'm just going to stick it right in my butt after it blew on me. So you've got a cream-covered cock just slamming deep into your butthole, and the lubrication is the semen that just spewed from it and still spewing from it.
Pretty much, and I'm just it's dripping off my back and down the back.
All over your fillet. It's just covered, because there's multiple there. There's Nick's, there's Frank's, and there's Bob's. NFB.
Yeah. Pretty much. All of them just ramming you.
So you're doing that. You're like, this is stupid, right? So,
oh, yeah. I was like, oh, God. Do I have to really fucking... And, of course, Kraken's having a blast there. Then they gave us the NFB Bell of Achievement. Everybody got one. It's a little, like, jingly bell on the end of a string. It's supposed to represent that stupid NFB bell that they give you when you complete the retard centers.
Oh, it's a bell of achievement. You got a bell. The gold star would have been more appropriate, but hey, a bell is perfect.
Take it home and ring it every time you complete something.
That's basically tie it around your girlfriend so you know where she is. Oh.
Yeah. Yep. Then comes all the motivational, inspirational speeches, dude.
Of course, because it's got to be that. It can't just be, business like, we're trying to get ramps for the fucking Civic Center on fucking North Broadway.
That would actually make it interesting. Like if it was about assistive technology and laws and things like, adult things.
Yeah, Bill's coming up here. He's going to talk about ways in which you can improve productivity with your iPhone. No, it's about... Bill's gonna come up here and talk about how it's nice to take walks. La da 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 da. The sunshine on your shoulders. Yeah.
It was more like newly blind fuckers, though, talking about how they don't let their blindness stand in their way.
Oh, and stand in your way.
The problem with this shit is, though, dude, it's all false. It's all fake, dude. Like, you can see through it. You're like, Man, come on, dude. This is a facade you're putting on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. In reality, he's like, yeah, thank you very much for having me. Then he goes back to his room and cries because he can't see anymore. It's a burden I gotta get.
I can't do it, but I'll try. I'm strong. You're strong. Give yourself that pep talk.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. They don't focus on. See, I honestly think they should separate organizations.
I think they should too.
Like so they should have the National Federation of the what's the term when it's from birth?
Is it congenital?
Congenital,
or is that
the National Federation of Congenital Blindness or lifelong blindness or something.
Or
like that.
Advantageous blindness.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
And then the National Federation for I shot my eye out in a hunting accident, blind, whatever. I don't know, or or retinal detachment when I'm 40 from drinking too much. Some
shit.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's a different perspective. It's completely different. And no one caters to the lifelong blindo. And when they do, it's always just the same shit. Like they treat them like the same, you know.
Right. Just like you're newly blind. You know, the first question you're always asked, when did you lose your sight? And you're like, I didn't, motherfucker. I never had it. Yeah. You know? So, and that's what it is. Yeah. A lot of these people are newly blind. They think they need pep talks and inspirational shit.
Yeah, and that shouldn't be a place for that. That's the Federation for the Blind should be advocating for, like, was there any policy, like anything policy wise, like, hey, we're trying to do this to get this passed, or do this to get this done, or anything like that.
There were like little mentions of it here and there, but it wasn't anything.
It's just a feel good stroke fest because you're blind and you're awesome, and that's you're still a good person, you know.
Pretty much. Oh shit! One chick got up and gave a speech about being in your arena, and it's your arena and your thing, and you've got to take control. And I was just like, dude, what the fuck?
There's nobody.
I think she was. Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I think she was some author who's going blind or something, and she wrote some book. The fuck is her name? Shit, I'm not gonna. I don't remember her name. It was something Andrews.
But she wrote a book like a book before she was blind and then went blind, or she wrote a book after going blind.
I think she wrote it after going blind.
Oh
dude.
Wow, yeah, great. That's a great.
Yeah, it's so motivational. Like, dude. Well, the problem is all. Like sighties look at that as motivational, and they're like, "Yeah, that's motivated. You should be motivated by that." And you're like, "Nigga, I'm not motivated because this person's a sad sack son of a bitch." They're sitting here crying about their situation. I mean, I'd be doing the same thing if I lost the faculty. I dig it, but me and this motherfucker don't relate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, though. So you're on two different wavelengths. You're in the wavelength of this is who I am, and they're on the wavelength of this is not who I am. So and you can understand both, but. Like I said, there's no distinction between the two, and it's not the same thing.
One size fits all,
That's the same. That's the way it is with most groups. That's why all those groups are bullshit. They don't really represent anybody except the people who are in the group trying to keep it alive. You know why? Because I wonder if there are people getting paid to work at the National Federation for the Blind. Of course there are, because it's a non-profit, but you still pay those people to work there because it's a job. So so it becomes a company. That's all it really becomes. The nonprofits are just companies that claim to give money to certain people.
And these people are just customers that are just dick riding along with it.
It's
going,
just,
oh yeah, man,
it doesn't represent anybody because you can't. You can't represent individuals. That's why I don't go to those organizations or deal with them, because I don't represent any blind people, and blind people don't represent me. If I went to one of those, I'd never actually become a card carrying member.
Man,
dude. I couldn't imagine going to a group of like I mean, I guess political views sometimes, like in certain political views.
Well, see, even though our political, me and these people don't have the same political views.
I'm just but that group itself is all based upon your eyesight. When it really, all those groups are they're all out for their own. Some of them want the fucking everything taken care of for them. We need to have fucking blind fucking braille everywhere. Everywhere has to be everything.
Yeah, braille on every wall. Even though most blind people can't read braille if they're newly blind.
Or even we need to have all this adaptive technology in there for the one blind person who comes in. They have to spend $500,000 to accommodate your ass.
Right, for one person.
We need to get this and this. So or the whole guide dog thing where
if it's a university or something, some place of learning, then
public,
that's one thing. But
public, anything public is fine. But if you are forcing any kind of private organization, like there might be an organization where
like going into mom and pop place and bitching at them because their menu's not in Braille. So
or,
then all
because they don't want their guide dog in the because the cook is allergic to dogs.
Oh yeah. So
well,
no dogs
sorry,
come in the restaurant.
The cook's allergic to dogs. Sorry, go to another. Well, we can't eat here. Well, you can get it to go.
You can go somewhere else. Go with your money.
Yeah, seriously, that's what you do.
That's what I do. There's some companies I'm like, oh man, you should be accessible, especially big corporations, dude. Like some of their websites, they should be accessible.
Well, well, if they're not, that's why. But if they're not, they're going to lose business, and the big corporations have the money to spend to not lose business.
Well, that's it.
So certain places like Amazon, I would assume, or what's another company like
Hulu
or all those places. Netflix. Can you use those services?
Hulu, no. Hulu wasn't accessible for me. I actually I signed up, and then after that, I tried to search for stuff, and it wasn't very blind friendly, so I canceled my account. Mm-hmm. So Netflix, I do use Netflix. From time to time. It kind of sucks as far as selection, though, because it seems like everything I want to watch, it's always, available on DVD only.
Yeah. I don't get any of that shit. I don't even bother, so I don't subscribe to it. Any of those fucking places.
That's cool.
If I get shit, I just get shit.
Just get it if you want it. Yeah, you got your spots. But anyway, no, man, it was some bullshit. Oh, and then they had these things where they were. They'd have a chant, not like a chant, but you know what I'm saying? Like they'd say, I swear to, whatever, be as independent as I possibly can. They had like this whole mantra they had to say,
God.
Like, so yeah, they had to do that. I promise to
community.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's scary. It's a cult. Damn near.
Well, of course, that's what groups become. Because people get involved so tightly in that group that they think that group is better. Oh, this group is better.
It's like gangbanging again. Oh, yeah, it's really
NFB. Exactly. It's like any other group, just like the people on campus. It's the me against them stuff. So they get in a little group and they feel like, oh, we're doing it right. That's why there's the what is that? What was that? Isn't there like a fucking turf war or something between the NFB and the other fucking big organization?
And the ACB,
they shit go like that. Like, oh, you're part of that group. Oh, aren't you both?
It's like, come on, aren't you guys working towards the same?
No, we're not. They're not. They're not right. See, they're not the true. They're not the G's.
They're not the good ones.
They're
we
are.
We're the better.
Yeah, they're the G's eye, man. They got the golden truth in their minds, and so that's why it's so funny. You got these two groups that are supposedly working for the same group, but they're opposing each other, so they're not working for the same group, or the one group will say, no, ACB, they ain't working for blind people, they're working for all themselves, and then the ACB guy goes, man, the NFB, they're a fucking bunch of hoodlum, cocksucking motherfucks, and it's like...
And all they want to do is they want everything done for them.
But aren't they blind? Don't they blind? Fuck them guys, they can go fucking have their eyes gouged out by fucking dogs while they're, while they're laying in a puddle of their own puke, It's like, okay, but you're both blind. Nah, they're not real blind people. They're fake blind people.
Yeah, they're not working towards the same causes or anything. Fuck that.
So you got all these groups. Isn't there another one too? The NFB, the ACB, and then there was another motherfucker.
There's like different offshoots. Like, we have Blind Connect, and then we have, that's limited to
it's all different stuff. So it's just funny that's the way it is. They have this infighting going on between these groups,
And they hate each other. And dude, of course, it was full of bleetards. Of course, I could have told you that. Obviously, one guy kept asking a bunch of dumbass questions. And they have that like bleetardy voice. They kind of talk like this, or they talk real low, like they're scared to fucking.
Yeah. They're, oh hi, I have a question for the panel, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Or the one guy kept asking. The best one was, have you guys? Okay, it's now they did have an assistive technology dude up there. Actually, I think it might have been Chipmunk's husband, actually. But I think it was him. He was up there talking about, or no, it was either him or some other one. Anyway, this guy raises his hand and he goes, have you guys ever heard of Jaws? like, no, they work with assistive technology. Never heard
one of those
shit.
guys trying to. Yeah, I know, and he's probably rocking very quietly back. Have you guys ever heard of Jaws? Like, yes, and he said, yes, we have. Right? That's what the answer was.
Oh yeah, of course. They're like, oh, well, yeah, and
of course. And then there was like, well, what about Jaws? That was my question.
Yeah, I just wanted to know. Well, he was just throwing out a bunch of questions, like, and just a lot of them, they haven't been so. See, it's not about being, oh, well, they just have other mental problems, and there may be more things wrong with them than blindness. No, they're not socialized correctly, so therefore they are social fucking retards.
Yes, and they don't have the ability. Yeah, they may learn to do it later in life, but most of the time they're going to be just their sheltered little sit in the corner themselves.
Yep.
Yep. And that's him trying to assert himself, like, okay, I'm gonna ask some questions today. I'm gonna be a shining bright light, like my mama tells me I am. So I'm gonna. Okay, here I go. Okay, they're gonna. Any questions from the audience? Okay, here I go. Hey. Yes, you. Do you guys use Jaws? I did it. I did ask a question. Yeah, well, you use Jaws. Yeah, we do. Yeah. All right, now I'm going to ask more questions. All right, here we go. All right, here. Hey. Have you ever heard of seeing Guide Dogs of America?
Yeah, that's kind of the shit, dude. That's
kind
of where he was.
Oh, my mama would be so proud. Lighthouse. I'm a lighthouse. I don't know what light is, but it's okay. All right, so.
Lighthouse.
I'm a lighthouse.
Wow.
I'm a lighthouse, even though I don't know what light is. I'm a lighthouse. La, la, la.
Even though I can't see light anymore?
Yeah, even though I don't know what light is. I'm a lighthouse. That's what Mama
funny.
says. Okay, so that was one. That was the one.
Okay, that was one event. And actually, like I said, dude, come noon, when it was time for them to break for lunch, they're like, okay, we're going to break for lunch. We'll be back at 1:30. Everybody be back here. Kraken and I said, fuck that. We got the fuck out of there, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't want to hang.
Yeah, it wasn't anything you needed to stay at. You were just like, no.
It was just a waste of our time, and I'm sure our supervisor would have felt that too. But anyway, so that was that event. And even Kraken was saying when he was driving me home, he was like, dude, now after listening to all that, I'm kind of bummed, dude. I feel kind of like, ugh. And I'm like, yeah, that's how it was. All right, so the second event, dude, was Project Homeless Connect.
Oh, boy. Dude.
Nah. Let me tell you, first of all, dude, people that work with homeless, there's two kinds. There's one that these people actually act like they're homeless. Like, their behavior is very homeless-like. And they have a lot of self-entitled, I need a break because I'm a boo-boo-doo. They just, the way they behave.
These are the people that actually get the services?
No. People that are actually working with the homeless, are employed with organizations that help the homeless. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so it's like, Lord, I was born one man.
Yes. Well, some aren't that bad, but there are some that you're like, are you a provider or are you one of the fucking homeless motherfuckers? Then the other kind, dude, are the ones who are these like jaded fucking assholes who are upset because they didn't get accolades in the last 5 minutes, being told how wonderful they are and what great work they do. Mm-hmm. So they're just nasty, dude, and they're hateful and just
So there's two kinds, only two kinds.
Well, it's from what I saw, at least, from what I was around.
Okay, so there's the ones that are like, yo, Jerome, man, we got you, gonna get you some money today. It's all good, Jerome. Is that what?
Yeah, they're kind of just ghetto-y, like when I came in. When I went to the table, the girl was like, oh, you know what, because I said the name of our organization. She's like, you know what, I just seen y'all earlier on here. Where was that? And just being kind of ghetto. And so she gave me my wristband, and I'm like, well, okay, where's my table? And she's like, oh, just follow the map. The map will show you where it is. And so I had this other lady take me to my table. Well, the thing was, we didn't have designated tables. That was the thing. And we were like, well, do we just pick a table? What the fuck do we do here? Because all the tables are empty. So they were like, yeah, just take a table. So we're like, oh, okay. So I took a table. And then we get all set up and everything. So the event is getting ready to start. And so Kraken's like, man, I wouldn't mind a cup of coffee. And I was like, yeah, actually, dude, I'll take a cup of coffee and maybe a donut too. If they've got, because they did say they were going to have a break room with snacks in the email, when they sent the initial email out. So Anyway, this shit was way disorganized too, man. So Kraken finally goes into this break room where it was supposed to be, and they're like, "Oh, we're not gonna have food till 9 o'clock." And they're like, "Oh, okay." So Kraken leaves. So then about 9, he goes in there again, and not even water. They didn't even have water in that bitch either, you know. So he comes back to the table and he's like, "Got news for you." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "We ain't getting shit." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I went in there and I was told that the food wasn't for the snacks and the drinks and stuff weren't for the providers." And I was like, "Okay," which is weird, dude, because when we go to most events, they're fucking cramming food down our throats. Yeah. Please take food, you know. Mm-hmm. So that was that. And then they did order pizza, which finally got there at noon or whatever. So that was the people who ran the thing. But now let's talk about the home lies, dude, that were actually there.
Wow! I bet that was a fragrant event.
Oh, dude, yeah, there was funk, dude. These fucks had that homeless funk for sure.
Just like because they're homeless. So it's kind of funny having a homeless convention where the homeless is walking on off the street. And how the fuck do you find out about this shit if you're homeless? You just go at the homeless shelters, like they come on to the homeless convention. Like, do they come to mingle? Were they networking? What the fuck?
I guess they come for resources. You know what I'm saying? For to see if they can get housing or job assistance. It's kind of
funny that what you're peddling your resources. Like, you got batteries.
Well, it's a little out of place, for us.
Just a bit.
You never know, though, man. There might be somebody who's, going blind.
That's called let's throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
We need to fill out a quota this month to get this convention shit done, so I'm going to just throw this motherfucker in here and see if it works.
Hey, man, sometimes that's what you got to do.
You got to do, man. I understand, man. So you get experiences like this. So you went to this homeless joint.
So we're at this thing. It's like I said, it was totally disorganized, this kind of shit. But like I said, then the homeless come up. All right, now, one thing that really pissed me off, dude, is, again, here's that entitlement. Dude, there were fuckers coming up behind us trying to talk to us. Like we had this, I don't know what the fuck you call it, dude, like a stanchion behind us. Mm-hmm. And so people were walking back there, and people would walk up, like I had this one lady that goes, "Excuse me, sir," and she taps me on the shoulder. So I turn around, she goes, "Can I get one of those applications? I don't have time right now. I got a job. I got to get going." And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, wait, hold on. Do you know what our program even is? Before she grabs an application to figure out that she wouldn't qualify anyway. So Kraken hands her an application. He's like, "Here you go." And then she's like, "Okay, thanks." And then I guess this other person's told her, he's blind or something. And she goes, "Sir, are you blind? Can you see?" And I'm like, "No, I'm blind." And so then and I was still kind of worked up from that. So then some other lady came up to the table. I thought it was her. And I kind of got a little mouthy with her because I said, "This is what I was trying to tell you about earlier." And Kraken's like, No, it's not the same person. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
There you go, dumbass. That's all on you, dude. That's you being a dumb blindo.
Well, what that was just, fuck, man.
You being a dumb blindo, man. Come on. Rule number 1 is you don't yell at somebody when you don't know who they are specifically, man.
I was pretty sure that was who the person was.
Wrong.
Well, I was wrong. Gee, a lot of sighted motherfuckers are wrong too.
I thought you had that vision, man. I thought you could tell voices. Like, why did you think it was her? Did she say something to you?
The voices were similar, honestly.
Oh wow, that must be very similar. And I'm not being facetious either, because seriously,
too, some people are very rice cakey, dude. Their voices sound very similar.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? They just kind of they have that the homeless woman voice that either sounds like this or. They have that, kind of like a, well, sure.
I love how Crack was, whoa, stop.
Yeah.
And you're like,
well, that's, because he's like, "It's not the same one, man." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Well, then we had another guy come up to the table, "Sir," I forgot what it was. He asked me if I was blind. And then when I told him yes, then he was like, "Well, can you see this? Can you see?" And I was like, "What the fuck? What's he doing?" And that's the other thing I wanted to ask Kraken tonight on the show, because he wouldn't tell me. He was really nervous, dude. That, I think, kind of got to him a little bit, dude. That event.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was a little bit, because I was like, what was that guy doing? Was he giving me the finger? He's like, "Look, dude, we can't talk about it right now." I'm like, okay. So, because, well, let's say level of anxiety, shall we say?
Yes.
Doesn't.
Yes. Yeah, he probably just like, man, I don't want to be here. This is because it probably is seeing and smelling everything. It's probably like, oh, dude, this is just.
Oh
awful.
yeah. Some of them were crazy,
and it didn't relate to anything you were doing. So he was just like, this is a waste of time, probably, because you're just sitting there. Well, could someone there could be, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, oh God, you know. But there was one other funny. Oh, dude, we almost had some fights by our table. There were like two people almost got into fights around our booth. So
no wonder he wanted to get the fuck out of there. He probably thought some shit somebody's gonna break a bottle and like stab somebody with it or some shit.
Oh, I think he did. I think he was really kind of freaked out about the whole thing because what happened is a woman cut through this line of people that were standing in line for their IDs, whatever, regular IDs or social security cards or something, and she cuts through these people to come to our table, and so they start yelling at her, and she's like, well, I didn't know you guys were in. He's like, ma'am, come on, other people want to get up. How do you know what we were in line for? And so these two guys are yelling at this chick, basically.
But then again, no one was in line for you, right? Really, right?
It wasn't for us. It was for the fucking
so
ID
they just
card.
cut through the line. She was cutting through the line to get to you.
Get to our table, right? And they got pissed off.
Well, because where else did they? She walked through a line. It happens, there's a line you walk through. Sorry guys, there's a line. I'm walking through. Man, you cutting in our line. No, I'm going to somewhere else. But you still cutting our line, dude.
Our line, man. You don't know what we're in line for. That's what the one guy kept saying. You don't know what we're in line for. So, yeah, they had to get security and get them broken up. Then we had some other dude I heard behind us that was like, hey, cuz, don't step on my shit, cuz. So he got all gangbangered out and started yelling at somebody. But I guess they diffused that. I'm not sure. But, yeah, dude, like I said, I had a few people just walk up.
Kraken being there going, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah, no, Kraken was having quite the day, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely, he was getting pretty irktified. And so like I said, yeah, there was the people coming up behind us and all that other weird shit. And so then, but here's the thing I think is funny about homeless people. Like, some of them were so, like a lot of sighties are. We're very, oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, pal.
You're like...
And I'm like, dude, you wake up in your own puke and piss on the daily basis, and you think that I got it worse than you?
Yeah, like, I hear the overpass from, like, 5 miles away. You
live under it.
Live under it. Yes. The fuck you talking to talk? That's the thing. People have their own shit, man. That's why you just gotta deal with your own shit. Everyone has their own shit, and everyone thinks someone's got it worse. And they're probably like, "You're a dude. At least I'm not that motherfucker over there. Look at that guy."
Yeah, they'll look at me and think, "Oh my god, like, dude, what?"
God damn, my armpits. Why does my armpit smell like shit? No, not like sweat, like shit. Oh, like there's shit in my arm. I must have shit myself and it ran down to my armpit. Damn, look at that guy over there. This is not like that guy, dude. By the way, dude, I haven't eaten in 4 days, man.
My shirt is an ass wipe. I use the sweat from my armpits.
I haven't eaten in like 3 days. Do you think we can give me $1 or some food? By the way, look at that guy over there. At least we're not like that guy, right?
Yep,
yeah,
pretty much,
that shit, man. Seriously.
The best part was, finally I'm sitting out there waiting for my bus, and this one guy comes out. I guess he was working with, he was with the courts or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he comes walking out, and he's like, hey, does anybody want some donuts or some bagels? And he like comes up to me. He's like, hey, buddy, want a bagel? This is the rest of the food that no one ate. And I'm thinking, okay. And this is the same food that they said we couldn't have. Mm-hmm. It's like.
So you did take it though, right?
I took one bagel. That's all I took.
Of course you did. Yeah.
Just had a bagel.
Oh, just one bagel. Before he would have taken the whole box and been like, fuck yeah.
Dude, I'd have taken that whole shit. I had a donut and a bagel and a fucking, I'd have done all kinds of wild shit. But
so you did take a bagel. Oh, okay.
Just a bagel, yep. So that was that. All right, now, one more thing, man.
Just one more event. So event number 3. So which crazy one is this? What's the name of this one? Or
this was just a meeting with an activities director at an adult daycare.
Oh shit!
And it was out in Henderson. And
adult
at first,
daycare.
Kraken didn't really like because it was almost to Boulder City. Apparently, I didn't realize this, but so he really wasn't too down with driving all the way out there because his car, doesn't. Mm-hmm. It's older, it isn't going to hold up and all this other crazy shit. So I'm like, look, Kraken, we got to go, man. We can't. I was like, I wish you would have looked at this earlier and let me know where it was. So then that way, if, I could have set up paratransit. And he was like, well, couldn't we just reschedule it? And I'm like, well, dude, I'll tell you what, I can get an Uber and you can just pay me back. And he was like, no, we'll go. And I'm like, all right. I said, I'll tell you what. I said, I'll do you one better. I said, I'll call just to make sure she's there and that she knows we're coming. How about that?
Oh, no.
And he's like, oh, yeah, okay, cool, man. So I call and I speak directly to her. And I'm like, hey, this is, Maxwell Silverhammer. And I said, we're still coming at 10 o'clock. Are you, you remember us coming, right? She's like, oh, yes, I remember. Yes, I'll be here. And we're like, okay, cool. Well, I'll see you at 10. So we drive Zafai out there, right? And we get there, we walk in, and we hear another coworker actually yelling at her. She says, something, you got to do this, Betty. Betty was her name, so we knew that she was talking to her. And we kind of come up to the counter, we're standing there, and then finally this woman, the woman that was yelling at the activities director, comes up, and we told her who we were and that we're here to meet with Betty. So she goes back to get her, and Betty comes walking out and says, you know what, I have to cancel. I have to go to the urgent care. And we're like, what? She's like, yeah, I hurt myself. And we're going, and Kraken said it didn't look like she was injured. And it almost looked like she was fishing for that bullshit. So now we're both pretty fucking pissed off. But we're trying to be cool. We're like, okay, we'll hope you feel better. She's like, oh, yes, call me, we'll set something else up. I'm sorry. So I was like, you know what, man? I'm going to find out who the administrator is, right, of this facility and explain the situation. So I did. Actually, I know the administrator. I know him well. So I sent him an email, and I explained what happened, and he called me. And then he was like, yeah, he goes, yeah, you know what? She did actually have to go to the urgent care the other day. She banged into a bookcase. Yeah, I guess she hurt her shoulder or some shit.
Jesus.
So, well, yeah, it's like, what the fuck? That, unless you threw your shit out of joint, like you were trying to move it or something, but he said she just banged into it.
Oh, so you believe him. He's probably full
Well, I think she did get hurt, but who knows? It was probably something dumb. It was probably your typical Mexican thing. Oy, doctor, I can't think.
So you went to that. So she wasn't. So what? Basically, did you ever get back in touch with her again, or?
I haven't talked to her since. I talked to her supervisor or the administrator. That was on Friday.
So
when I sent him the email about what happened.
You'd gotten all the way over there.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we drove over there. When
so I'm sure that ride back. I'm sure that ride back was fun. But you were both like.
We were pretty pissed off, but we were kind of making light of the situation. We actually, what did we do that day? No, we didn't. Where did we go? Oh, we went to Wienerschnitzel, dude. I was like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. We deserve it, dude. We need a treat. Let's go to Wienerschnitzel. So, dude, I had my usual, the 2 bacon wrapped street dogs and a Chicago dog.
Oh, wow. You went full on threesome, huh?
Yes, I did, man. I was.
How did you feel after that? It was like,
I was kind of like, ugh, glurk, But I kind of knew that was going to happen,
Yeah, it was kind of one of those days. All right, so now you're about 195, 200 back up there?
No. I'm only at 185, man, just like I've been. As a matter of fact, I just weighed myself tonight.
You were at 179 before, man.
Oh, yeah, well.
Oh, shit, it's happening. So? Here it comes, man. Here it comes. An avalanche of pain. 200 pounds in 3 weeks. But actually, I've got a little update on that as well. I've weighed myself, and I am down to a clean 200. So I've lost 17 pounds in the last month and a half, 2 months. So I'm back down there. So 185 is fantastic, man. If you keep your weight between 180 and 185, you're good, man.
That's what I'm saying. See, I don't want to get down. And this is the other thing too. I get scared if my weight gets too low. You know what I'm saying? The hypochondriac in me.
Yeah,
I'm like, why am I losing weight?
Yeah, that's a little.
Well, I had 2 people on Friday say to me, "Gee, you're getting skinnier. Why are you getting skinnier?" And I'm like, "Why am I?" I don't know.
Isn't it funny how they say, "Why are you getting skinnier?" But then like a month before, it's like, "Man, you need to work out." It's like, no one's fucking happy. It's like, oh, you're looking a little too skinny there, buddy. Fuck you. No, too skinny is dead, in my opinion, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So like 180, 185 with your height, and that's fine. That's where I want to get to, man. If I can get to 185, holy shit, man.
I just don't want to drop down too much, dude. I don't want to be like 174 or some weird shit, and be like,
That's not gonna happen, man. Not with you.
It shouldn't. But I still get my eat on, man, from time to time.
Yeah, which is fine. That's what I'm saying. Your steady weight is probably 180, 185. So.
Yep, kind of in that window, dude. That's kind of where it's been staying.
It's just that, because by that 240, can you imagine think about it, man.
I can't believe how big. Yeah,
you had 60 more pounds. That's like carrying a 60-pound weight on you, dude, just in your arms. Like,
that's what my dad was saying. He was like, I'm going to take you to the gym one day, and I'm going to let you lift a 60-pound weight.
Yeah.
And that's what you were carrying around your fucking waist.
Yeah, and that's where
actually,
I'm
my dad did.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, dude.
I'm sorry, your dad did say what?
Oh, my dad said some kind of scary shit, dude, last time I hung out with him. Because he said, we were talking about me losing weight and how it's been and all this other crazy shit. And he goes, I got to tell you, one time I saw you, and the first thought in my mind was, he's going to die in 10 years. And I was like, whoa, you actually thought that? And he was like, yeah. I was like, why didn't you say anything to me? And he's like, well, we kind of did. And I'm like, no, you really did. I mean, my mom was more vocal than he was, I think, when it came to that kind of shit. Like, my dad never really brought up my weight or said anything about, So it was mainly my mom that was the,
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, maybe he did, but the way he said it wasn't the same. Because your mom, you're looking for that from your mom too. So it's kind of like a positive reinforcement. Like maybe your dad would have been like, "Hey, buddy, maybe you might want to just lay off that extra rib there," right? Like that.
Not even. He really didn't even do that, dude. He didn't really. No, I don't remember him ever saying you shouldn't eat that, or you can't eat that, or. Nothing weird. Only time that I got a little resistance from him was once when I was drinking a lot. Actually, it was at my stepbrother's bachelor party.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And
yeah.
I grabbed it, remember, and I pulled another beer out, and he's like, "No, son, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Dad, I'm drinking. I'm having fun,
What are you doing, son? You're going to embarrass me.
You're going to drink. Oh, you're going to get so drunk, son. You're not going to be able to drive home."
You're like, I'm just going to chill here, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny though, but now, now it's like it's crazy how little time it really took you to do this, man. I mean, that's kind of insane actually, because normally it takes a lot longer to lose that kind of weight, man. You lost it 6 months, man. 6 months.
So it was like 10 pounds a month, huh?
That's crazy, man. That's actually incredibly crazy. So
actually, it was really 4 months, wasn't it?
No, because when you stopped that, you were at 190, dude. You were like 190 something when you stopped the Nutrisystem, man.
I think you're right. Yeah, it was like 189,
yeah, that's what I'm
190.
saying. 180, so you've dropped even more, because at one point you were at 179, dude. So it was like, damn.
Well, that was like, last week I was 179. Actually, this week I've been 181, 182 a little bit. So, and then I'm sure I put on some pounds today, man, because we did this other thing, this community event, and they had pizza and cake and shit. So I
kind of did that over the weekend too. I had some pizza and some sugars and.
See, I think you can have fun still, but just not every day, man. Not to excess.
And you can't just eat like that because you were eating like that every meal was like something like even the Hungry Man's eating those at once. It's like, oh, that's big old fucking 1 pound Hungry Man's. 1 pound of food. It's all shit,
Yep. No, I was eating to excess too. Like. Every time I would eat to get full.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, oh, let me just, tide myself over. Instead, it was like, roar, let me just, and really, there's no point to eating like that because at some point you're not even hungry. You're just eating it to finish it.
Eating it to finish it, and then you just feel like shit and awful. And then, of course, you've lost the CPAP machine and inspiring people, man. Honestly, inspired me. That's what kind of got me going, man. Like, dude, I can lose some weight.
See, that's real inspirational shit.
Yeah, man. I saw you lose it, and I'm like, dude, it's all about portions, man. Like, I eat also, it's all about eating a lot of fiber, too. Got to get that fiber.
Oh, man. Yeah, definitely.
Got to eat those vegetables, man. Got to get that fiber in you, or else you're not going to be able to shit that stuff out, so.
Yep, fruit and vegetables, man.
So, anyways, we got your work
working out.
Your work ssaga there. I don't really have much. To me, it's just the same shit as always. Work and just the monotony of it all, and just trying to just keep on rolling, man. Just losing weight, like I said, eating better myself and stuff. But nothing really, no real interesting stories. Do you have anything else tonight, man?
Well, there was one thing, dude. This happened last night at the Rum Runner.
Oh, yeah, Saturday Night Rum Runner Report.
Okay. A Saturday Night Rum Runner ride.
The Rum Runner Report.
Dun, 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 dun. Rum Runner Report.
Okay, so
well, actually, there was this guy who came in, and I guess he does trick shots on pool.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if he advertises that he's going to be there and doing his trick shots, and people should come and whatever. But anyway, he's just a dude who comes in periodically and does his little trick shot thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so he was, dude, I think he was expecting the whole bar to, like, watch him. Like it was going to be his show. And, like, he told the bartender to turn all the music off. And she was like, this fucker wants me to turn off all the music. And we're going, what? You know, and everybody else in the bar is like, what, so we can watch this asshole? You know, so finally she got it where the speakers were turned off over in his section where he was. So it was a good compromise. But yeah, dude, he was over there doing like a little show, like, all right, everybody, here's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to do this. And, you know, there were a few people over there, probably about 5 that were watching him, you know, and they'd clap and he'd fucking do one of his shots or whatever.
Encouraging him to continue his horse shittery.
Yeah. Well, he thinks he's someone special. And it's like, nigga, you know, do you think you're some...
No, that's fine if he had gotten, like a bar and, like, had a previous and there was, like, some note, like, hey, guys, tonight we've actually had this set up for a couple weeks. We're going to turn off the music for a while. If you'd like to watch this guy do some trick shots, there you go. But it's probably some fuckface is like, man, I'm going to do some trick shots. Turn off the fucking sound. Yo, I'm gonna
Yep, that's just what it was, dude.
Yeah,
because I asked her, I said, does he pay extra to do this, or is this some kind of? She's like, no, he's just a regular bar patron. And I'm like, okay.
Who do you think you are, man?
You know?
Dude, that's called narcissism. Like, don't turn off your music. Everyone wants to watch me.
Yeah, turn it off for me now. It's all about me. Listen to me. Fuck, dude. There's so many fucking important assholes.
I'm gonna leave you with some positivity. By the way, there's a great article.
Okay.
Out. Yeah, man. It's a great article. It's called "Why I Will Tell My Sons That They Can't Be Friends with White People," and it was
what?
Yeah, and it wasn't in a major a place anywhere. I mean, it was in a place. You ever heard of the New York Times?
Yeah, I believe so, man.
Yeah, well, this article was in just that little paper there. The New York Times
had
an article.
It's a very small one, of course.
Yeah,
nobody reads it.
I mean, of course, because what it was saying was that since white people voted for Trump, that white people can't be trusted because, white people. So I'm going to tell my kids. I'm telling my kids that they should just not trust white people. And how can you be friends with people you can't trust? So that's where our world is going.
How do you fucking permit this racist shit? You know, in like major media, dude.
Because it's shifted. Because you can be racist against white people basically in this society now.
Because see, technically,
and men too. Because there's another article out, by the way, that says, hey, white men or men realize that you are because all the Hollywood stuff going on. Because all the men in Hollywood represent every man.
Rapists and shit.
So it's like why you need to look at yourself and see how you're trash as men. Just get used to this shit, man. It's happening more and more, man.
Wow.
So that's my positive.
That's very beautifully positive, man. That's just makes you want to start the week off.
I think it's a great way to send us off, man. Just some positivity, man.
End the show,
because that's the way it is. Because this country is getting more batshit shitty as it is. It's becoming it's okay to. Oh, by the way, the Barbie is now proud to have a burqa Barbie.
Oh yeah.
Because that's showing progression, and because women choose to wear the burqa, by the way.
Right.
Anyway, let's talk about that some other time. Anyways, it's the 19th of November, 2017, and I am Cruise Control.
And I'm Maxwell Silverhammer. And
that's the story there, bitches!
Heil Hitler.
Rape ya.